Hello viewers, welcome to this wonderful and exciting moment of the Independence Post, the 25th of October 2025. Of course, I'm not alone on this Lumen Morning Diary. I'm with Alice Lungu. Alice, good morning.
Good morning, Henry. And yes, we are still in the mode of celebrating our independence. The whole October will celebrate it. 61 years of independence, Henry.
Of course, this is what we are looking at. Zambia at 61. How does it look like? Is it something that is worth to be talked about? Our dearest viewers, you're not left out. You are part and parcel of this show. You are simply advised to make a phone call, a text for those that are following us on Facebook. You can still drop us your comment. We get to read comments on Facebook as we'll be looking at Zambia at 61. Alice.
Yes.
How does it look like in the mirror?
I'm a proud Zambian, proud African Zambian woman. You can actually see from my attire, putting on my wrapper. Very proud. Even at 61, we thank God for the peace that we enjoy in our nation. Yes, looking at the time and the stories that we heard from our grandparents and our parents. They told us a lot of stories before Zambia got its independence, and looking at the stories that we know now, indeed we are saying there's a huge difference, Henry.
Of course, Alice, is something that is worth to be talked about, especially that we have so many stories for you, our dearest viewers. I'm talking to you who is watching us through Facebook. For that one who is watching us through Top Star Channel 101, we are here for you to discuss and give you so many stories. People have something to talk about. Independence. We are very much proud of the young ones that went in numbers at the Freedom Statue. I took my time yesterday to actually see what's going on. It's so unfortunate on the other side that people did not manage to go to celebrate independence because they were working, especially those that work in Indian shops. Sorry to mention, but Kamala was actually very busy. Just like it is not the holiday that is worth to be celebrated. Zambia at 61. What's your take, our dearest viewers?
People need to make money. If you fold your hands, nothing will come.
Nothing will come.
And so you need to wake up and work.
I'm trying to do a comparison because I've quite celebrated.
Like it was quiet,
quite a number of independence where we used to gather at Independence Stadium. The mood, the morale of each and every citizen was seen, not only in the attire.
The shops were quiet, they were closed.
For sure.
And other streets, we could actually hear, it was a colorful street, and putting into consideration that, yes, we are celebrating the most important day, the day that we got our freedom. So
they should be free.
There should be that mood.
That mood.
That invites you to say, okay, and reminds you, we are celebrating our independence.
Yeah.
But it was just quiet, and I kept on reminding myself, is it really Independence Day today on the 24th, like the day the way it was yesterday? You keep on questioning yourself, is it really Independence Day? Why is it so quiet? Why is the mood so quiet?
It was really quiet, Alice. Something that did not only it's not just worrying now, but we should look at Zambia at 100. Is it something that people should be taking as independence? Is it something that came on a silver plate? Of course. course, it's not. Yeah.
I think I remember, though we were quite younger, but I do remember the time that we were celebrating the 40 years of Zambia's independence, Henry. The mood was different, and I remember so many different artists coming up with different songs in honor of the celebration of the 40 years of independence in Zambia. It had a huge morale compared to Zambia at 61.
Zambia at 61. I can say the moment that I can remember rejoicing, it was the time when we went to Heroes at Jubilee celebration, the fireworks. It was awesome, Alice. It was something that still it's still fresh in my mind. Yeah.
So I think we look forward to having such celebrations in our nation, because really 24th is a huge day for us all as Zambians, and this is it's not just about putting on the colors, and because especially the little ones, yes, that's a good gesture, but there's just more to it, not just you putting on the Zambian colors, but there should be more of an education to it, so that our children may understand what independence is all about, like the way we were growing up. I remember growing up would have huge events in honor of that, and they would teach us the history behind it, what really transpired on that particular day on the 24th, and just even before, how they struggled to get independence. I think this day should be embraced in that way, so that our culture doesn't really fade away. We should honor it. Like, okay, this is the birthday of Zambia.
Of course, the Independence Week, it's something that started in a very good mood. We've seen people posting on their Facebook pages, Facebook profile accounts. We saw quite a number of things coming up, but the Independence Week also came up with quite a number of trends, Alice. Before we get into the trends, let's get into the newspaper pick. We see what's in the paper for today. I'll start with the Mass newspaper. They are main doctorates. We are being ruled by liars, Kapambwe's daughter.
Okay, and the headline in the Zambian Daily Mail newspaper, it's time for economic freedom. President imposed Zambians to always seek peace. President Hakainde Hichilema says the country's forefathers delivered a political independence, and that it was now time to deliver economic independence. That is one of the headlines in the Zambia Daily Mail newspaper.
Page 2 of the Mast has this story where worshippers leave OIDC in Lusaka after being displaced by police. On the same page, Calabar condemns disruption of prayers.
Okay, I think in line with the same story, Henley, here in the Daily Mail newspaper, it says HH did not order stoppage of OYDC overnight vigil. State House has dismissed claims that President Hakainde Hichilema ordered the stoppage of an overnight vigil at Olympic Youth Development Center OYDC, led by Apostle Sunday Sinyangwe and his Nigerian counterpart.
I just get a bit on page number 5. Let's look at what is reflection of Zambia at 61. Where you find the story of Zambia's independence. That is on the Mass newspaper. On the 24th of October 1964, the Zambian flag rose for the first time over an independent nation. So these are the stories that on the Mass newspaper.
Okay. Just to read this other story, Henry. Couple nabbed over Zesco cables. This is a couple. Police in Kabwe have recovered 307.2 kilograms of assorted Zesco cables from a couple's home, identifying them as key suspects in the theft and vandalism of Zesco facilities.
So unfortunate, Alice.
A couple working together.
Working together.
Then just a last story in the Zambia Daily Mail newspaper. A 27-year-old civil servant has been sentenced to 20 years imprisonment with hard labor for sexually abusing a 7-year-old girl in Chipata.
Chipata has
has
stories.
Yes.
Where I also saw during the week the issue of morning after being bought for a 15-year-old girl by the grandfather, who happens to be the former Chipata DC, who was sexually assaulted abused for about a number of times. What was narrated in the story was that she was sexually abused 4 times.
No, really sad. And yes, it is also in Chipata where I read a story of a father who actually sodomized his 4-month-old baby boy and defiled his 4-year-old daughter.
What's wrong with Chipata? Quickly we rush to Solowezi, where police in Solowezi have arrested 22-year-old Newton Chilemu for allegedly stabbing and killing his 73-year-old grandfather.
Oh, that's...
And it's a short of words.
I don't know what to say. It's
Yes.
really heartbreaking reading such stories.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm speechless. I have no words, really.
It's too early to be speechless, Alice. We have so many trends that will leave you even
you know
more
what,
and
Henry?
more. Yeah.
A few months ago, we read a story of a 19-year-old who killed his own father over a charger.
Over a charger.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Baulene, eh?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we heard of a story of, is it also a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old, if I'm not mistaken, who killed both his parents? That was last year in Salama Park.
In Salama Park.
And here is a story of...
Yeah, the trends actually has a lot, at least for us.
Yeah, just to dive in again into the trends. An unfortunate incident happened in Chama, Henry. A 24-year-old man was attacked and killed by an elephant while fishing in the Luangwa River.
So unfortunate
incident there.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Another story, Henry?
Yeah, another story is that we see 12 men, among them 2 police officers charged with aggravated robbery, have been committed to the High Court. These are the stories that we saw in the week, where we saw 12 men, and among the 12, 2 of them were police officers from Matero Police Station. The polices. Alice and the polices.
Are we safe?
The polices are making the trends.
People that we run to.
We run to?
Are in the forefront of doing that. Are we safe?
It's something that is
It's
worth
so
to be talked
unfortunate.
about next
Yes,
time. I think we need
yes,
something to
yes.
we need answers
It's
for
so
this one.
unfortunate. They train you and you become you do the opposite of what they have trained you.
The polices.
The polices. No, it's really disappointing.
It's really disappointing, Alice.
Yes,
Do we have another story from
Yes,
your
we
end?
have another story now. Away from this bad news. Yesterday, HH honored the Power Tools driver.
The hero.
He's a hero.
The hero.
Who actually saved about, is it more than 50 passengers on the bus that actually got banned, the Power Tools bus. We know the story. We shared about the story that happened a few months ago where a driver actually saved the passengers.
For sure.
Yes. So the driver was actually honored. He really deserves it. He's a hero.
The hero.
Yes.
On the move.
He didn't want to put the lives of the passengers at risk. He managed to save everyone. Such a hero.
Such a hero.
Congratulations to him.
All right, Zambia at 61. That's what we are talking about today, and you are not left out. We were so much excited to see and hear students from Crucible Lusaka who actually gave more insight about Zambia's independence, what each and every provinces did for Mother Zambia, what individuals did for Mother Zambia. We get to look at a clip after a short break. Stay tuned. Hello viewers, of course it is 61 years ever since Zambia got its independence. The bottom line still remains how many young ones do know about their nation. We know Zambia being a Christian nation, we know one Zambia, one nation, but what makes Zambia to be one nation? Of course, Crucible Lusaka has for us the packaging Zambia in different provinces, getting to give us more insights of what each province actually contributed to Zambia's independence.
My name is Cholankole and my group and I are called Mainza Chona Group, and as we all know, Mainza Chona is a very historical figure who played a role in Zambia's independence.
My name is Mumbe Rochelle Munzaka and our group name is...
My name is Mlenga Mumbachongo and this is the Simon Zukas group. So we were tasked with looking at Copper Belt and Southern Province in terms of their contributions to the independence struggle and key events that took place leading to that time.
My name is Chifukwa Dinaswe and the name of my group is Juya Chikamonika. Particularly, we are just given the name Juya Chikamonika, but we are focusing on also other political freedom fighters.
Crucible Lusaka is a school that prepares ambitious students to be pioneering leaders for a prosperous Zambia. And we are excited that this week of Independence Week, we're actually getting to have what is known as Liberal Arts Week, a time when our students step aside from typical classes and get to actually engage in various readings that have shaped humankind across the globe. These readings actually help students focus on 4 tenets. One being knowing themselves, knowing their country, knowing Africa, and knowing the world. And essentially, when it comes to knowing Zambia, we're focusing on the independence that we're celebrating this very week, our 61st independence. And in these readings, they get to engage with them deeply and do a number of activities that help them really understand the context of Zambia's independence at the time and celebrate our heroes. So particularly for today, for example, they were mind mapping different provinces in Zambia and how each of these provinces contributed to the struggle for independence, their role in that, the events that took place in each province that they were presenting on, the individuals that came from those respective provinces and how they contributed towards independence in Zambia.
So today what we do is we dive deeper into specific provinces in Zambia in order to get information about the historical sites and the independent sites and the different things that people did, the different people who played a role from Western Province specifically and Northern Province, the different people who had a part to play in independence, whether in their same province or anywhere else in Zambia. So from deeper research, we have found different historical figures who played a role in the Barote land, which is now known as Western Province, and also other people from the Northern Province who played a role in independence. As the Mainza Chona group, there were two provinces that we specifically looked at. Here we have Western Province and Northern Province. So we found very interesting things, and we know that Western Province was formerly called Barote land, and Barote land and its rulers, the Litunga, were very independent people. So in Western Province, some of the interesting things that we found out was that there was the Barote Agreement of 1964 that was signed in Mongu, which Mongu stood as the capital of Western Province at this time. So this Barote Agreement was there made to integrate Barote land into Zambia as it was independent, because the Barote people believed that they were more independent from Zambia as a country as whole. They decided to be their own sovereign state. So when this agreement was signed, it brought about unity between Barote land and Zambia as one country. And now we know this province as Western Province. So here we also see people such as Nakatindi Yeta, who helped in the fight for independence, and different other people such as Arthur Wina, Sikota Wina, who had influence on different things. They brought about more public opinion and they brought about unity in the country through their struggles. And then we further go to Northern Province. The famous Chachacha campaign was held in Northern Province. So as we see here, it was organized by the first president, Kaunda, in 1961 July, in that very Northern Province. And as we know, that Chachacha campaign stood the test of time and is still talked about in history because such a great and remarkable event that happened.
And then you go to Munukayumbo Sipalo. So Munukayumbo Sipalo was one of the people who was a mediator between the Lozi chiefs and UNIP. As you know, the Lozi chiefs didn't want Barote land to be part of Zambia, but Munukayumbo Sipalo ensured that there were negotiations between the Lozi chiefs and UNIP. That's why later on in 1964, they signed the 1964 Barote land agreement, which just stated that Barote land is going to be incorporated into Zambia when they gain independence.
So hey everyone, my name is Mtambo Temwani, representing the Yeta group. So I want to first run you through this series of introduction. So discover Luapula and Eastern Province, unforgettable fight for their freedom. So we were given two provinces to discuss under, that's Luapula and Eastern Province. So here with me, as we go on here, we have like a variety of things. We have firstly the map of Luapula and the map of Eastern Province. So under Luapula, we have like three main things that happened in Luapula. That's the first beginning of Cha-Cha-Cha movement, which happened in Kawambwa in the year of 1961 to 1963. Then also in Mansabombo, the colonial rule under Northern Rhodesia began there. That's when it was firstly and formally introduced. Then Mansa, formerly known as Fort Rosebery, that's the place where the rise of UNIP happened and also the formation of the African political movement. Then here with us, we have fun facts. Did you know that there was a beer that was so strong that was named Kaunda? And we have like a picture of Kaunda showing us right there. Then the other thing was carpenter was known as a snack. It was like every time they had rallies or anything, they used to eat kapen. That's why it formally became a snack. And if the queen wanted to know about their plans, the queen had to like learn Bemba, because you know Bemba is like a foreign language to the queen, so she literally didn't understand what they were talking about. So those were inside jokes that they used to tell. And independence began by swimming. What we meant by that was they used to have like meetings to go to Congo. So like the Zambians literally had to like swim. So that's when we say that independence began by swimming.
So some of the things that we discovered about Eastern Province is that Chipata, which was formerly known as Fort Jameson, was the administrative capital of the then known Northeastern Rhodesia. We also found out that Katete was one of the main districts in Chipata where the Cha-Cha-Cha campaign was hosted.
So in 1935, we had the copper belt strikes in Kana, in Ron Antelope, and also in the Muflira mines. So these were initially started due to the increase in tax on miners because their pays were already very low, and then the colonial government decided to increase the taxes that they had to pay on their income. This sparked protests and strikes that lasted for only a short period of time, but they were violently suppressed, with 6 people dead and 20 fatally injured. But then it opened up the eyes of the Africans and even the colonial government to see that if the Africans were able to organize themselves, they would actually be able to cause damage and also force the Europeans to see their point of view through showing them that even they could make change. And then we also had the 1940 copper belt strike in Kana due to the disparity in wages because the miners were being paid differently from their European counterparts, even though they might have been doing the same work or even actually more challenging work. So we also had their contribution to independence. The Copper Belt's contribution was very fundamental because it was one of the largest uprisings that were organized by Africans. Although it was mostly for a short period of time and mostly centered around things like mining grievances, wages, or tax increases, it actually acted as a financial and organizational backbone. The African Mine Workers Union was based in the Copper Belt and it was the single most important source of funding because the Copper Belt was the economic stronghold of Northern Rhodesia at the time. And then what happened was it also proved as a training ground for leadership because most important leaders would start in the Copper Belt organizing youths and organizing protests and boycotts, and then they would spread out into the rural areas of the country. There were also the core grievances such as the calabar. The industrial calabar meant that Africans were paid only a fraction of what their white counterparts were being paid, despite the fact that they were working harder jobs and for longer hours. There was also economic leverage because by controlling the industry that provided 90% of the colonial government's revenue, the Copper Belt workers held a critical economic weapon. If they decided to strike once again, it would seriously impact the colonial government's revenue because most of what Northern Rhodesia would contribute would come from mining. So that was just Copper Belt province contributed to the fight for independence, the key things that happened in the Copper Belt and how it also influenced the fight for independence.
From here, we were assigned a task to focus mainly on Lusaka and Central Province. But right now, I'm holding one for Lusaka. You see, in Lusaka, being the administrative capital at the time, it had many rules. One of them we are mostly popularized by Julia Chikamoneka. Julia Chikamoneka, though being raised in Kasama, she was very influential mostly in the freedom struggles in Lusaka. Particularly, she set up a food store in Kabwata, but due to the prosecution of the previous white colonialists, she joined the active movements of UNIP, and later in 1960, she did the very famous naked march with other women where she was known as Julia Chikamoneka. That very movement shaken the world and made the evils of the colonialists be exposed to the world. And let's talk about Skotawina. Most of these freedom fighters went to Munari because at that time Munari was the only boarding school or school allocated to white folks. So Skotawena went to Monali. From there, after the liberation struggles, he became Minister of Health for the newly formed Zambia. Now, let's talk about Zanko Opundu. Zanko was born in Mbala, and before his death, he still resided in Mbala. But he was a main political figure as he was very rough and also very ambitious. He was a very ambitious young man who joined into politics. And though this same picture, I can say, never really happened, but was more like a symbolism of national strength. The picture, although it has been a myth, it has even been a sermon to many young kids, this thing never happened. Now, let me talk about the administration connection to Lusaka. Chilanga was closely tied with the capital, that's one thing. And that's why we see most of their bombers are just nearly located. I believe these are all of them, but most of them are just national monuments. We can talk of the Chilenge House. The Chilenge House, we can just call it as a national monument where most of freedom fighters resided, including our very own first president, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. That's where he resided from. So it's just more like a national monument, a way of keeping our indigenous history as Zambians.
Yeah, interesting enough. I'm wondering, who was in this prison?
Oh, unbeknownst to most, a lot of the key freedom fighters that we know today, that we celebrate, actually went to this prison during the colonial era. They were arrested here, and some of those people were Kenneth Kaunda himself and Mr. Zako Mpundu. So these people were in this prison for some time, and after they left prison, they joined forces and decided to create the UNIP, the one that we know today, right there in Kabwe.
I guess it's a significant facility, in, of course, as we celebrate the national independence, as it is a symbol that signifies the much struggle that our forefathers went through, and as much as colonialism is concerned, the facility was meant to silence those that wanted to liberate Zambia, and anybody that seemed to be among the voice, among the fighters, and a figurehead was taken to prison, as we can see from the likes of Kenneth Kaunda, our founding father, our president.
It has been me, Henry Mdenda, and from here, it's back to the studio. Welcome back, our dearest viewers. That is all that we had from Crucible Lusaka. You also have something that you can tell us. The best you can do, for those that are watching us through Facebook, just share that online platform, and also you can simply comment. Me and Alice Lungu will be joined by Father Arthur, who will feed us with food for the soul after a short break. Stay tuned.
In 1964, we broke the chains. Today we rise again, 61 years strong. This is not about tribe, not about region. This is about one people, one Zambia, one nation. I am Leonard Kasweka, and I bring you this song for the land I love. Raise the flag, let the eagle fly high. From Mungu Tundola, reaching the sky. Luvele, Lunda, Lozi, counting two. Bemba, Nyanja, Tonga, we move as a crew. From freedom fighters to a brand new day, we celebrate in an African way. Zambia's dancing strong and free. 61 years of victory. Zambia forward, no turning back. To end the with that stack. One people, one love, one land. Together we rise and take a stand. Zambia forward, hear our sound. 61 years with glory bound. No tribal hate, we stand as one. Under this flag we all belong. Copper glows and our music flows. From the farms to the township roads. Tulibantu bongwelu yine hamoho twikatane bonse Zambia limbo yetu, let's lift the name. Peace in the heart, power in our hands. We build this nation, woman and man. No more division, no more pride. We move together side by side. Luvale, Lunda, we are one. Lozi, Kaonde, we are one. Bemba, Nyanja, we are one. Tonga, say, we are one. One Zambia, one nation. That's our song, that's our mission. Zambia forward, dance and shout. Our unity is what it's all about. No tribe above, no one behind. 61 years, one powerful mind.
Welcome back. You're still watching Lumen Morning Diary. Right about now, we've just been joined by Father Arthur, who is going to feed us with the food for the soul. Good morning, Father.
Good morning, Alice, and good morning to our dear viewers.
Yes. So, Father, what do you have for us today?
Yeah, so today I was thinking we could talk about living in the new graces.
Oh, living in the new graces.
Living in the new graces.
Okay.
You know, sometimes we want to allow the mistakes that we make to determine how we live our life, how we behave, how we also treat others. You know, the mistakes, we allow them to get so attached to our lives such that wherever we go with them. And some of those mistakes that we have made in the past are things that we have repented from, things that we told ourselves we'll never do again. But for some reason, they just come back to mind and they begin to determine how we handle ourselves. So I wanted this morning to talk about living in the new graces, meaning that every new day is a unique day. It's a different day with its own experiences, its own, graces that God showers upon us. We have to be aware of this fact that every time, like today, this morning, we are in a new day. It's a new morning, new graces. It's a new thing that God has given us. And so for us to be able to appreciate this new day, new morning, new thing, we need to learn to detach ourselves from the mistakes that we have made, because those mistakes have a huge bearing on the way we treat ourselves and others and life in general. And if we continue on that path, we'll realize that instead of living in a new day with a new feeling, savoring the new thing that God has given us, we'll be living in the past. You'll be living yesterday instead of living today. And that would be unfortunate, because you would be very sad. You'd be a very sad person. It's important to learn to detach oneself from the things that are unpleasant, the things that probably you may even have repented from, and begin to live in the new thing that God gives you. Sometimes even the people that we have around remind us about the mistakes that we have made. And I want to believe that to be a natural thing, in as much as it may not be a very good thing or pleasant thing. We may look at it as a natural thing that sometimes people can, for some reason, maybe knowingly, even unknowingly, would just remind us about the past mistakes that we made, especially if they know about them, of course. And when that happens, we begin to feel bad about ourselves. We begin to feel like we are not, adding value to the life of other people, to life in general, because we begin to feel so bad. We begin to feel we are a very bad person. Now, with all that around, how do you still live in a new day with new graces, in the new thing that God is giving you? One thing we have to understand is that the love of God for us is not dependent on how we behave, how righteous we are, or how unrighteous we are. God gives us his love unconditionally. So there are no strings attached. It's human beings that attach strings. But God's love does not have any strings, because if the love of God for us depended on how righteous we are, then nobody would feel loved. God wouldn't love anyone, because who is righteous anyway? Yeah. So God knows all the mistakes that we make that we have made in our lives, and I think the fact that we are here today, we are listening, we are watching this program is reason enough for us to believe that God is giving us another chance to do better. And he's giving us another chance to do better because he loves us unconditionally. He's not like a human being. God loves us unconditionally, and that's important for us to feel okay about ourselves and to forge ahead. Of course, human beings will remind you about what you did yesterday, what you did last year, and those years back. You also remind yourself about how a bad person you have been, okay? But the way God handles us is different from all that. God is not going to brood over the mistakes that we make. God is going to give us another chance to be better, to turn around and make our lives better and make our lives positive, so that we add some positivity to the lives of others as well. It's important for us to, first of all, detach ourselves from the things that from the mistakes that we have made.
Sorry, Father, to hold your thought, we seem to have a call. Good morning. You're through to Lumen Morning Diary. Who are we talking to?
Hello?
Good morning. You're through to Lumen Morning Diary.
Hello?
Hello, Mwaka Bwanji.
Wino.
Mwatumina ku Lumen TV.
Ni mwabarani?
It seems like mwatuma number ya wrong. Ku Lumen TV kuno.
Ndisange omwine. Ndisange new number.
Okay, ni ku Lumen TV kuno. I think in the wrong number. Okay, skomo.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Father. You can continue.
Yeah, so I was just concluding, actually, just saying it's important for us, first of all, to acknowledge that something didn't go right in the past. And we repented from that. We made the decision, that is, to turn our lives around and to make ourselves better. And it's okay even to remember those things that happened, because that thing was registered on your memory. I mean, you can't delete it, so it's okay. And well, it's also fine if other people want to remind you about it or not. But the way God looks at you and what you did and what you did not do is different from the way you look at yourself and others look at you. And that's important for us to realize, for us to feel confident and better about ourselves, and continue to make our lives even better. Every day is a new day with its own graces, with its own new experiences. When you wake up in the morning, thank God you have woken up in the morning, but also ask for His grace to be a better person, to do better, to be better than you were yesterday. It's important for you to live a positive life when you begin your day like that. Remember, every day comes with its own new graces, and you have to try and live in those new graces.
Living in new graces.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Father. Yes, you've actually said it all. It's very important that indeed we live in new graces. This is how amazing God is.
Not in the past, not living in the past. Leave the past behind.
Yes.
If it is unpleasant, leave it behind. Try to, detach yourself from that, and then move and live in the new graces.
And just avoid those people that actually remind you of the negativity, the past mistakes.
Me, I wouldn't avoid them.
They drain.
They drain.
Yes. And things that drain me, Father, honestly speaking, no.
Yeah. No, from that perspective, you're right. But I was saying I wouldn't avoid them because, those people remind you about your being human, about your humanity, about the fact that you are human, and being human, yes, you made those mistakes. So it's okay. They can hang around.
No, you don't need to be reminded all the time. Oh, well, Father, thank you so much for feeding us with the food for the soul. We've been fed. We are full.
I hope so. We'll see you next week.
Okay, thank you. That was Father Arthur who fed us with the food for the soul. For now, we go on a break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are still watching Lumen Morning Diary. Yes, Henry. Father, you heard what Father has actually taught us.
Yeah.
Living with a new grace.
The new graces.
Very, very important.
Very important, Alice. Our dear viewers, for those that are watching us through Facebook and for those that are watching us through television on Top Star Channel 101, I think it's time now we get to talk to you through phone calls. Yeah, would allow you to be free in any language. Yeah, it's one Zambia, one nation. Uziwa imafika ja time whereby ufuna kukamba, but maybe you feel as if no one will hear you. Timvera na chinyanja chonse. Timakamba, chivemba, timakamba, chitonga, tizangela mongenamo.
Tizambela. Kumvera sichivuta.
Kumvera sichivuta, Alice.
Kukamba, chabedeli mende maremba.
Tizakamba.
Bati tuamba ula hashonto.
Hashonto.
Ndamba ula hashonto.
Zambia at 61.
Mebo, Zambia at 61, yes. Yes, our dear viewers, like Henry has said, this show is for you and I to get to interact. Tell us what is happening in your community as we are celebrating Zambia at 61.
At 61.
What is your story? Tiuzen kontifuna tizibe mukamba pobwanji pali Zambia being at 61. Henry ninga kambeko pali Zambia being at 61.
Ufuna kambako.
Ni kambeko. You know, Zambia is blessed when it comes to natural resources. We thank God that we also have a fertile land. Yakuti tingalime. nakudya.
Yeah, our dearest viewers, the numbers will show on your screen. Those numbers that you're able to see on your screen, those are the numbers that you can text us or simply give us a direct call. We are ready to talk to you. Let's interact. We are free as Zambians. What is it that you have to talk about this year's independence, Zambia at 61? What is it that you have to talk about? Yeah.
Yes, Henry, this is actually open to the viewers out there. We want to hear. It's not just about Henry and Alice sharing what the celebration of Zambia being at 61. It's about you, our dear viewers. We want to get to interact with you. Tiuze nkon stories kuti munachita celebrate bwanji independence mailo yenze bwanji day mwenze mumude ya bwanji. And what does independence really mean to you?
Yeah, before we actually have those numbers displayed on your screen, you can simply check on Facebook, Lumen TVZ, and then you can drop us a comment there. We get to read the comments just as they come, as we're waiting for the technical team to put the number on the screen. Yeah, Alice, yesterday I was privileged to talk to one of the parents that took the children to the celebration venue, which was the Freedom Statue here in Lusaka.
Okay.
Yeah. This woman told me to say, I've brought my child here because after the president was done with honoring those that were being honored yesterday, and also giving the speeches and everything was done after the celebration were done, the children had the privilege to go to Lusaka Museum on a fee of 5 kwacha to go and watch. There were people that were explaining to them what
really happened
during the struggle of independence. They were shown different sites. Yeah, it was very good. I saw quite a number of young ones, though the ranges, it was between 9 to 15. Many are those that I saw. But again, on the other side, the place wasn't so safe for those young ones, because the Independence Avenue was very busy. Yeah, most of them, they were just on their own. Yeah, I think this is something that we should try by all means, that when we send these young ones to such events, to such celebration, let's ensure that there is someone to look after them.
Talking about yesterday's celebration, Henry, it's really sad that on social media I came across stories of young ones, teenagers, getting drunk in celebration of Independence Day. It's really heartbreaking. What is happening? The pictures were really disturbing, looking at a girl child dressed in the colors of the flag of Zambia and drunk.
People don't understand. Anyway, those are the numbers that you're able to see on your screen, our dearest viewers. Let's get to talk about these stories. Alice brought a story. What is it that you have to talk about? Those young ones that take independence as the moments that one can actually go out and drink. Yeah, you can still drop us a direct message or simply give us a direct call. We would like to hear from you. We would like to talk to you. Yes, you very one that is watching us on TV. Would like to hear from you, actually.
Yes. Henry, I was saying earlier on, it's really heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Seeing such young people engaging into such activities. What was so exciting for them to reach to such an extent of going out and just influencing themselves to taking alcohol, and just looking at it all, the people behind it? Why would you sell alcohol to a minor?
This is also something that is worth talked about. The people that sell alcohol, those days, you remember those days when elderly people would actually send you to a bar to buy, especially on special events, whereby people would take it to say maybe the old people are with visitors home. They send these young ones. There are those that come, but on the alcohol, the way people sell alcohol in most cases, they don't look at age. But this is something that is worth to be talked about, and more sensitization have to be taught, because people that sell alcohol, Alice, this time around, most of them that run these liquor stores, most of them are not Zambians. I can talk about a few things here and there, but people would sell alcohol even in the home shops. They sell these alcohol. Yeah, so alcohol is not only sold in big bars that we think, or these nightclubs that we think of. Even in the same home shops where people buy groceries, alcohol is there. Yeah, so I think more sensitization it needs to be made. As Zambia, as we grow, we need to understand our core values as a Christian nation, and also just as a nation, we are being guided by the core values.
I think, like you've said, Henry, some measures really need to be taken when it comes to such things. No shop owners or those that have got liquor stores should sell alcohol to a minor. Alcohol, it's clear. Any person below the age of 18 should not be allowed to touch alcohol.
Yeah, I think this issue of alcohol is something that we can talk about on the later date, and then get to dig deeper and also bring out real life issues. I think this is something that we can always create time. Independence, me and Alice, we always take it differently. For those that do not know that independence can be celebrated anywhere, we decided to have our independence outside the studio, where we enjoyed our coffee. It was something that was very interesting to see Kachelo Cafe provided us with that tasty and sweet coffee. That's what independence, and that's how it looked like to us. For now, we'll cross over to Kachelo Cafe and see how we enjoyed our independence.
It's a lovely, lovely, beautiful day as we are celebrating Zambia at 61. We are at Kachelo Cafe right here in Twin Palm. Yes, Henry, what do you have to say about this beautiful day as we are celebrating Zambia at 61, and just the place where we are as the breakfast show, Lumen Morning Diary?
Of course, Alice, this is a day that has actually left a mark, especially to those that do not know more about Kachelo. When we talk about Kachelo, we're talking about morning. This is the Lumen Morning Diary that has come to you right here from Kachelo Cafe, where we're celebrating Zambia's independence. Zambia at 61. It's not a joke, but still, Alice, it's something that we can talk about, the independence.
Of course. So we invite you, our dear viewers, as we are at Kachelo celebrating 61 years of independence. Come dine with us.
Hello viewers, welcome to the independence celebration right here at Kachelo Cafe, where we are bringing to you the Lumen Morning Diary in style. And of course, independence is something that each and everyone would talk about. Many other times people would say independence, those gone are the days that people would go to the Independence Stadium and gather in numbers to celebrate independence. And what is most worrying is that independence is just being celebrated by the young ones that are in baby class, pre-grade, grade ones, those that put on colorful regalia, Zambia's regalia. But many of the times that we get to talk about it with Alice Lumen. Yeah. Alice, good morning.
Good morning, Henry. I'm in the mood of celebrating the 61 years of Zambia's independence. Zambia at 61.
Zambia at 61, of course, is something that each and every person would love to talk about. But for me, I'll pick the story of Zambia before independence.
Okay. And
yeah.
I will talk about Zambia after independence, the peace that we are enjoying. It's because there was somebody who fought for it behind that peace that we're enjoying.
Pre-independence struggle, these are the things that we can talk about that began before the actual date, with various nationalist movements emerging from 1940s and 1950s. Key figures like Kenneth Kaunda, Simon Kapwepwe, Harry Mangala, these are the people that we get to talk about. But before these people, someone will ask a question. How did Zambia look like? We get to give you Zambia in pictures before its independence, and these are the things that we can just talk about them briefly, where we talk about Zambia before independence. The area that is now Zambia was a home for early hunters and gatherers. These are the people that we call the Bantu people, the people with similar languages and culture. What brings us together in Zambia today are culture and traditions.
Let me talk about the 61 years of Zambia's independence and the theme that we are celebrating this year in the year of 2025. The theme for this year, 2025, as we are celebrating 61 years of Zambia's independence, is 61 years of peace and unity, building a resilient and with prosperous Zambia. The nation is filled with pride, unity, and a renewed spirit of togetherness. That is our theme of this year 2025, as we get to reflect on how Zambia got its independence, Henry, which is in 1964 on the 24th of October. Of course, the one who fought for us by then was our first president ever, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda.
Let's quickly talk about the British South Africa Company that administered the region from 1891 until 1923, after which UK took direct control of Northern Rhodesia, was joined with Southern Rhodesia and Nyasaland to form controversial confederation, Rhodesia and Nyasaland. So these are the common words that people would be or used to talk about. Southern Rhodesia, Northern Rhodesia, and Nyasaland, sharing common things, sharing the same border. Of course, in short, we are talking about the borderless regions. So these are the things that we get to talk about: pre-colonial and early history of Zambia, as well as the post-independence.
Yes. Just after Zambia got its independence in 1964, of course, despite Zambia having blessed with a lot of natural resources, we talk about minerals such as copper. Zambia had also its own challenges in terms of education, infrastructures. But we with due time, Henry, I must say, we've actually seen when Dr. Kaunda came into power, when he became the president, and we compare to it now, we've seen a lot of different when it comes a lot of difference when it comes to infrastructures, when it comes to hospitals, and when it comes to education. When it comes to education, we've seen a lot of development has been done in our country. We are seeing a lot of we are seeing a lot of roads. So in as much as yes, we've celebrated our independence of 61 years, we are seeing a lot of different things in terms of the challenges that we used to face back then. And we pray that as we are going ahead, a lot of development should actually take place.
Let's look at the history of metal working in Zambia. This is something that people just talk about copper from 1964, and the voices are becoming louder now. And let's just get quickly a recap of the metal working. We are seeing this before 16th century. Early food producers were working with copper and iron, and by 1000 CE, copper was being traded exclusively. So these are the things that people do not know. When did Zambia discover its copper oil? I mean, we talk about the copper that is being traded and boosting Zambia's Zambia's economy. The history is actually coming a long way, as far as 6th century.
Oh, yes, Henry. As we are talking about the natural resources of Zambia and the fertile land that God has blessed us with, we also talk about, yes, we are celebrating 61 years. We should also talk about the healthy facilities that we have here in Zambia. We pray that as we go ahead in future, these facilities should also be looked at in terms of places like in rural areas. Everybody should have access when it comes to health facilities.
I was so shocked, Alice, when I took a trip to Sulawesi, only to see that development is actually along the way, and we are talking about 61 years of being independent. No one, you are not being held captive. You are free to do whatever you want, but we are seeing things being centered in the central, in the CBDs of each and every province. It's not broad. It's not broadened. I would love to see places like Kachero Cafe being spread to different areas.
In all the provinces.
In all the provinces.
10 provinces that we have in Zambia.
Yeah.
So just to mention but a few, all those freedom fighters that fought for Zambia, we thank you because we're enjoying this peace that we have today. It's because of you people. And yes, we continue to celebrate Zambia at 61. Henry, yes, we are at
Zambia at 61, of course. This is the freedom that we have, even from the media houses. We have just decided to say, today we give the independence story from Kachelo Cafe right here in Twin Palm. Dear viewers, thank you very much for your time. It has been Henry Mudenda and Alice Lungu bringing to you the independence stories from Kachelo Cafe. It's back. Welcome back, our dearest viewers. That was the independence celebration in style at Kachelo Cafe. That's all we decided to do, that today we go this route. Alice, how was it?
It was amazing. Really had a great time. I had an amazing moment being there at Kachelo. It's such a very beautiful place to be.
Yeah.
And honestly speaking, Henry, I love places that are so comfortable, that are not really so congested, that are quiet, where I can enjoy sipping my coffee.
Yeah, and the main reason why we get to give you this clip, our dearest viewers, we are giving you those memories where white people have their different places of having fun compared to the black. And even the clip that we gave you earlier on about school, where Crucible Lusaka actually gave us a very rich history of Zambia, is actually to give you an insight that today Zambia, you are able to access education in the same place, the white, the black, the rich, and the poor. So this is what Zambia actually where it is today when we talk about independence.
Yes, talking about freedom, Henry.
We are free.
We are free. We are free indeed. Because looking at the stories that we actually learned in our history and we heard from our grandparents, we are able to go in shops and buy. You and I can actually enter a shop and buy whatever I want to buy. Back then, blacks kumbukira my stories those
were stories that we had, practically we did what we did to say, let's try if we can have coffee from somewhere else.
Yes.
Yeah, it's something that is amazing, very interesting.
Blacks would buy from the windows.
Yes,
but this time, yeah, I can sit with a white person and just have a cup of coffee together. Chat, cheers. You see, this is how peaceful our nation has become, and this is how free we've become. But the question still stands, as there are so many things that we also need to actually work on when it comes to development. Yes.
That one is, it still remains a question.
Like you and I, yes, you and I, Henry, are in towns where we're able to access anything. Because if I want to go to the hospital is close to me. If I want to go back to school, the school is just next to me. Go to these remote areas. Here is a 7-year-old child that would walk miles and miles
just to access education.
But, you know, that's a reason why sometimes I would think people drop out of school because probably it could be the distance that is there. When it is raining, how do I get to school when we have heavy rains? Yes, we are at 61. These are the developments that we want to see in Zambia. Every child, be it in rural, be it in the urban, should have equal rights, should have equality in terms of education. This is the right of a child, and as a concerned citizen, let's access this.
Yeah, we need access to that, Alice.
And health facilities.
Especially that we are in the rainy season. I would say I wouldn't say that we are getting into the rainy season. The rains has started in different parts of the country. Now these are the times when people fail to go to school because bridges are washed away. We are looking at Zambia at 61. If we bring the picture of Zambia at 61, truly is it Zambia that people can easily talk about in terms of development? Alice, you brought out very important issues. Economically, as a nation, are we independent if we talk about independence? Socially, as a nation, are we independent when we talk about independence? These are things that would love to see going forward, that people really enjoy and forget about their political affiliation. This is the time when people actually need to forget about their political affiliation. We talk about One Zambia. Our main focus is peace, unity, and reconciliation.
Yes, Zambia at 61.
At 61.
Mm-hmm. Henry, we'll still talk about it. And yes, we want to hear from you, our dear viewers. What is your say about this celebration that we are celebrating? We are at 61. What do you have to say about it? What is happening in your communities? Share your stories. We want to hear from you. We want to educate one another. It is all about you and I learning from each other. Henry, we have a message on Facebook coming from Jimmy Lungu. Maybe this one is my relative. I don't know. Jimmy Lungu, watching you on the bus. He's actually on a bus. So Jimmy, thank you so much. You're actually on a bus. Thank you for watching Lumen TV and for following the morning diary. What is your say?
Do I know the person? Let me check.
I don't know if you know the person. You know the person?
All right. I happen to know the person. Right, on a bus. I think this bus is heading to Mukushi. There will be a conference there. That's where he will be ministering. Thank you very much for following and watching on the bus. We wish you the traveling mercies. Even for those that are traveling from different parts of the country. Mm-hmm. This is the time when people say, when it's time for independence, me, I can't move. When it's holiday time, me, I can't move. We are free as a nation, and we are wishing everyone God's traveling mercies.
Yes.
Alice, before I bring out this issue, mm-hmm. Let me ask this question randomly. Zambia at 61. Mm-hmm. What joyous moments have you ever had ever since you started celebrating independence? The joyous moments.
I think the joyous moments were when I was quite younger, because we got to, I don't know if it was just because I was in school by then, mm-hmm. and I remember having a lot of